education, tree trimming programs that we
So
have in
things
place.
that we're already doing, we were just.
Yes, I'm going to try to implement as many things as you're doing right now into the first year's program, so that we're not spending any funds.
And, you know, you have, what, 7 things listed here as objectives. Does that meet the minimum? I'm not familiar with.
Actually, they don't give us an exact number.
So we could have one objective?
We have one objective, but
Okay.
I don't think we want to be a little more involved in that. But
And I think if you continue to have dialogue with Western during this process, if they already give you an abbreviated RFP, that's a start. And if you have continued dialogue, that'll help get a sense of timing and how much time we have.
yeah, I think the annual updates are very important to continue doing.
So these are things that we would be doing, these programs that we would put in place, they wouldn't take place until 2015 or 2016?
Your budget's 2015, January 1st, 2015 is when you would want to start implementing them.
Okay.
The ones that I'm going to try to suggest that require no funding in 2015. There might be some minor printing costs and those types of things, but not a program that's $50,000, $100,000 type program. It's programs that maybe you're already providing energy information to people. I have to research that and find out if there's something that is handed when somebody comes and asks for service. Do we give them something? And if we do, then obviously we'll incorporate that.
Yeah, just a case in point, we talked about LED lights. This was probably 2010, I believe. We received a grant from Mark to replace, I think we had $120,000, and we replaced all the LED lights on Center Street out to the highway, or out to, actually at the highway, and then Center Street, so Main and Center. And then part of that, one of the reasons we chose those circuits is because they were metered, so we could start documenting that use. And I know the Public Works, and I think probably the electric folks are, since once Public Works handed it off to electric again, they've been monitoring. So we have that data. We have the before and after. So that's a real simple one for us to include.
So to do something like to provide like residents with LED bulbs at cost, something cheaper than they can buy at Home Depot, is that?
Sure, that could be one of the energy saving programs that we switch out light bulbs for them. Subsidized or not subsidized. If we can buy them bulk cheaper, and then they buy them from us at that cheap bulk price, that's an option. If we want to subsidize it, that's something that could be done also. And we'll try to give you an estimate of what the range of options of subsidization, free all the way up to you pay our volume price. But yeah, that's a program that is done all over. Lawrence obviously is a big time involved in that, switching out incandescent for fluorescent and LED bulbs.
You work well.
Do they? Okay.
4 kids in the terminal.
So anyway, I think, we'll run with these objectives that I provided you already and start developing programs along those objectives that are on that memo. And then if you have something that you would like to see, say the city needs to save 5% energy or something like that, that's a lot of energy to implement in one 5-year period.
I think the first thing is to identify what we're already doing. So.
Okay. Incorporate what we're already doing and match them up with the objectives. Here's what we're doing, and these are objectives that we're accomplishing with these programs.
Greg, I'm impressed with how much you hit the ground running already. But yeah, with our time frame and limited ability to change costs, outlays.
Right.
Yeah, any low-hanging fruit, existing things are great. What I'm thinking though is as soon as this is submitted, sure we've got a year till the next one needs to be done, but I would think it would be in our best interest then to start working on it shortly thereafter, so that over the winter, so that we can get it done. our suggestions again for the next year
Mhm.
before the budget cycle gets to the council.
Yeah, so you can implement them into the cycle. I agree 100% with that concept.
And then we could get more to a yearly
Yep.
thing that's shifted.
Yes, yeah, this is kind of just, like you said, we're under a gun right now. We're trying to get this program finished and completed, so that we can meet the requirements, that have been placed on us.
Right. I appreciate it.
I'm curious on certain things like the diversify supply, what,
We're gonna talk about that in the next presentation.
Yeah, that's gonna come up a little bit.
Yep.
oh, okay.
But do you have a specific question?
Well, yeah, I was just wondering what, you know, what we could possibly do in 2015 that would diversify our supply without.
Nothing.
Nothing in 2015.
Nothing in
Right.
15.
So this would be an objective for a future IRP?
Yeah, what happens is I do a load forecast.
Okay.
And I've looked out, not only the next 5 years, but I've looked out till 2030, and what your needs are, capacity-wise and energy-wise. And then what we do is say, what do we have today to meet those projected, amounts? We know, as I mentioned previously, OPPD, and maybe we could just move right into that next, topic. OPPD has told us that there's not going to be a renewal of our existing 10-megawatt contract with them. And so we know that in 2019, we've got to find a new supply. Not only to handle the growth that we're going to occur over the next 5 years, but that we've lost a supply, our OPPD resource. So we're going to have to incorporate that into this IRP, and the diversification issue will come to play when we make a recommendation on how to meet that new capacity requirement, not only in 2019, but going forward. You want to introduce it?
Do we have to identify that contract is expiring in 2019 or 2018 in this first IRP?
Yes, because it's covering the 5-year period.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, 2019 is the next, so we have to explain to them that we're going to be finding a new resource starting in 2019.
Gotcha, okay. Do you want to go to the next item then?
Sure. I guess just to follow up on this, if you all do have any comments or suggestions, just email them to me, call me, just get a hold of me, and I can relay them to Greg and Tony on the IRP. The next item, mentioned briefly, I think it updates at the last meeting, that we had received a solicitation from KMEA from their Power Supply Committee to confirm a recommendation that, or a suggestion we had put in one of the preliminary submittals, which was 4 megawatts of base load in 2019, and then 3 megawatts of intermediate in 2015, and then another 7 of intermediate in 2019. That was based on a KMEA recommendation, which these documents that Greg has put up would back up. At the time, we'd said let's hold off on responding to KMEA until we can talk to Omaha Public Power District. As Greg had mentioned, we've heard back from them 2 weeks ago because of basically reductions that are required under new federal regulations, that they're retiring, I think, 225 megawatts of coal plants, and then over the next 20 years are going to reduce their demand by 300 megawatts through demand side controls. End result was they really don't want to extend their contract with us past 2019. Probably for me, the best document to look at is, we have this on the...
I don't know, I don't think so.
Okay.
It was in their packet.
In your
Yeah.
packet, if you go to your packet, I put it in both things. It's the system capacity responsibility analysis.
Yep.
And you can see that we have 9 megawatts at Grand River Dam Authority, which we have until 2025. And then Omaha Public Power, we're picking up in the peak months 10 megawatts through 2018. 2018 is the day of reckoning for us, and we've got to find another source, and that's kind of the genesis of this. So to reverse what our recommendation was last time was wait until we talk to OPPD before we make a recommendation. We're now here. We need to look at this. We met with KMEA yesterday.
It's quick, it's moving on you, isn't it?
Boy, it is. I was thinking, that was last week. No, that was, and, kind of got the parameters. if they, in their study, you can submit, you know, whatever you think you want them to study. The cost, the